Uh, Hello again. I kind of promised you guys to make a comparison video for this Humminguru, but I don't think I would like to spend that kind of time just to do a comparison, because there's already a lot out there. And if you already have the machine, I'm pretty sure you're already in that Facebook group. There's a lot of comparison in that group itself. I'll put a link down there so you can just join the group if you haven't. But anyway, here's like a tips and tricks for other people's. I like the machine. I know it works. I've been using it for, I don't know, 3 months, 2 months now. I really love it. It's so easy to use, and I have like a few tips for you guys. So this is tip number 1. If you cleaning a records, and if you can see that the records is a bit, dirty, very dirty, if you buy it from a dollar bin, just pre-clean it. Make sure all the mold or dust or whatever that is very visible to your naked eye, just clean that part off, and then you use the machine. I know some people will say, oh, I spend so much money on this machine, I should not have to pre-clean it. It's up to you, but for me, if I buy something really dirty, then I will just pre-clean it, because I don't want to make the what's this, the distilled water dirty. I want to keep reusing it. So that's one of my reason why I like to pre-wash. And also, if you have a dishwasher, it's the same principle. If you see something is very oily and so on, you pre-clean it. So it's the same thing. Pre-clean or no pre-clean, it's up to you if you want to do it or not. But for me, yes. So that one's tip number 1. Tip number 2, if you want to clean like 7 or 8 in a row, don't use the auto mode. You just kind of waste of your time, because you have to like wait the thing to run for like 5 minutes, and then dry for 10 minutes, and then wait all the water to be drained back into the tank and so on. So here's how I do it. So you just get something like this, a rack, and you use the manual mode. You just use the clean mode, and that's it. The 5 minutes you can set for 2 or 5 minutes. So you just continuously clean for like 6 or 8 in a row, and then only you use the dry mode. So you use clean first, you clean for like 6 or 8, and then you dry them. And we also have some issue that some people are complaining that when they use the auto mode, they still have drips here and there, droplets on the records. So probably this will fix that, because you just air dry it on the rack itself. Just make sure you don't run the machine more than an hour, I think, or an hour and a half. You just check the manual. Don't run it continuously for an hour. It's just an ultrasonic thing. It's not because of this machine. It's just how it is. We don't want to overheat the ultrasonic, I guess. But yes, that's tip number 2. Use the manual mode, clean for 6 or 8 records, and then you dry it. So you kind of get a bit more smooth steps, I think, smooth workflow. Yeah, so that's tip number 2. Tips number 3, this is the 7-inch adapter and the 10-inch adapter. There is no tips for this. You just have to be like aware, not rush. So you just sit down and make sure there is you have no kids around you, no cats and dogs, and just try to fit in your 7-inch in this adapter. There is no tips for this. You just have to be careful, because this is very fragile, and I also have no idea how to improve this. It's just how it is. the same with the 10-inch. So don't use this when you are drunk. You will ruin your 7-inch. That's tip number 3. So tip number 4, I know a lot of people will ask, should I use like a cleaning solution, whatever. I only use distilled water and nothing else, because I always pre-clean. Yeah, for me, I don't think we need that. You can try it. I don't think it's gonna harm the machine, even though it says it's not really recommended. But yeah, it's just if it's a drop or two, it should be fine. But maybe don't use iso alcohol in it, because alcohol is flammable, and this is ultrasonic. Yeah, in like a big machinery ultrasonic thing, we cannot use any alcohol around it, so maybe it's the same here. So that's tip number 4. You can just use distilled water. You can add a bit of surfactant, but don't use alcohol. Yeah, in that group, in the Facebook group, people discuss a lot about it. They sometimes use the G-Sonic, they use the Ilford Ifotol, I think, Ilfotol, and many other things. So yeah, they all turns out great. So, it's really up to you if you want to use it. But for me, I just use distilled water, but I make sure I pre-clean everything and make sure it looks nice. I mean, not really nice, make sure visibly okay, and then I use the ultrasonic. Yeah. Tip number 5, always keep this around, the microfiber cloth. So if you use the auto mode and you see a few droplets here and there, you can just use this, and you can wipe things with it. So yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you're happy with your machine. Unfortunately, it's currently sold out in Humminguru website, but hopefully they will have another batch. So you can just spam their inbox if you really want the machine. I highly recommend you to get this machine. If you have the money, you can go for degreaser, but this is very value for money for me. Thank you very much.